So if you're doing anything online right now, and you're on social media trying to drive traffic, trying to get people to actually engage with your stuff, right? Odds are you have a content marketing strategy, or maybe you don't have a strategy at all, and that could be the problem. But at the end of the day, I'm going to share 3 tips today to help you create a killer content marketing strategy that actually delivers tons of value for your end users, gets them to engage in your content, ultimately click through and eventually do business with you. Before we dive into it though, I got to remind you, please like, subscribe, do all the things to help us reach more people on YouTube. So as you're well aware, if you're watching this, like obviously we're doing content marketing. We're learning stuff every day. And over all these years of just doing this and working with hundreds and hundreds of clients, we've been able to kind of see what works and what doesn't when it comes to content marketing, and how to actually ground it in something that's valuable, that delivers value to your end user, helps you kind of build this relationship with them gradually in this digital environment, warm them up over time, and then eventually put them in a position where they're going to want to kind of click through per se, or take that next step, whatever that looks like with you. Even if that's just getting your free thing to start, and then maybe they spend some money with you downstream. But at the end of the day, there's always this question: what in the world do I put out? I've got to create content weekly, daily, whatever it might be. What in the world do I put out on social media that people are actually going to care about, actually going to watch? And so this is where we kind of came up with these 3 key things. And so key number one, and if you've watched any of our other content, you've kind of got some of the context behind this, because we don't want to go back and rehash all that. But key number one is you obviously need to be knowing who you're serving, the problem you're solving for them, et cetera. But key number one in the context of this video and your content marketing strategy is you have to have defined how you do what you do. Okay. If you want to break through the noise and differentiate from the competition out there, if you don't have kind of your unique approach that you take people through, we call it your process, right? In very simplistic terms. If you don't have your process that you take people through, one, you're going to have a hard time delivering results consistently, and ultimately creating clients that are getting value and on a consistent basis and want to stick around. Right? It's hard to scale something that you don't have some structure around. So bottom line is you need your process, right? What do you take people through? It could be 3 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps, whatever it is. We have our 4-phase process at Brand Builders Group. We take people through to help them build and monetize their personal brand. But for you, you have to figure out, you're serving a client that's over here struggling with something. You're trying to take them over here to where they're getting all these benefits from doing business with you, right? And realizing, man, life's great. I'm now making great money. I have more time. I have more freedom. I have whatever, like whatever type of business you're in, right? But what's that process look like? And let's go ahead and pull up kind of the whiteboard here, and we'll take a look at this together. Just so you have your person over here, right? They're struggling. They're not doing good. You're taking them over here, right, where they're loving life. They're killing it, right? And so what I'm talking about here is, what are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's call it the 5 steps. You have your 5-step proprietary process that you take people through to take them from, frowning to smiling, right? Loving life, things are better. And so that's step one, is you got to define your process, your methodology, right? That helps you from a marketing perspective that, hey, this person's thought through this. They've got a well kind of defined process or methodology that helps them build confidence in you, right? As you get them on the sales call, naturally, you can dive deeper into how you do what you do and instill even more confidence in the buyer, and hopefully they sign up. And then naturally, once they're working with you, you use the process to govern how you do the work you do. So it helps you structure your delivery work and create consistency and use that consistency to scale and deliver more predictable results for clients. So the bottom line is your process is foundational. And if you don't have it, you need to focus on putting it in place. So once you have your process, because again, we're kind of trying to tie this into how you create an effective content marketing strategy that actually delivers tons of value, people engage with, and works at the end of the day to drive traffic and growth of your business. So After you get your process in place, the second thing we want to do is we want to look at each of these steps of your process, right? Because these people, right, they're over here, they're not doing any of these, right? You're saying, hey, you got to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, right? You're going to take them through this. So we're going to look at each of these steps along the way, and they have some name, right? So let's get clear on your mindset, right? Let's get clear on your health. Let's get clear on your diet, like whatever it is, right? And so once you define the steps, we want to tell you to look at each step of your process. So we're going to start with step one, whatever name you give it, right? And this is a key set of work that your target audience needs to do, right? To start, making improvements in this aspect of their life or their business or whatever, and kind of moving closer to over here where they're happy. So we want to take a look at each step. And for each step, we want to look at what are all the questions that this target audience has about that step of your process. And so what this does is it lets you, one, kind of pre-answer questions that are already in their head. Number two, it lets you create very tactical and meaningful content topics that don't get all generalized and high level. These are very specific, tactical kind of micro pieces that, again, this person has. They're already in this person's head. You're pre-answering those questions for them. And really, like we like to say, you're giving away all your knowledge for free, but you're doing it in all random order in small bite-sized pieces. Okay, that's really kind of the fundamental kind of strategy here of your kind of content marketing strategy. So step one, again, define how you do what you do at a high level. What's your process? Step two, within each step of your process, define all the questions that your target audience has as it pertains to that particular step. Again, you're the expert here. You know all the teaching that you're doing underneath the hood of this and underneath the hood of this to deliver results for that client. So because your mind is so deep into it, you naturally understand what are all the things I need to teach them. And then if they're not doing it, what are all the questions they likely have leading into this that I'm about to teach them? And then you document all those little questions one at a time. Okay, so we got questions all the way down through here. Okay, so now the third and final thing is we're going to answer each of those questions one at a time. And we're going to do it in a way that hopefully wraps in a good amount of storytelling, right? As well as deep tactical content, right? We all know at the end of the day that understanding how to tell great stories and how to do that in a way that provides context and supports kind of the actual tactical teaching that you want to kind of deliver as well, that delivers real value, right? That combination of entertainment as well as value is really where it's at. So we want you to take each of these questions, answer them one at a time in maybe a 5 or 10 minute video, however long it takes to talk about what you need to talk about. Wrap the content, the deep teaching you need to deliver in some story, right, to kind of keep it entertaining and keep them engaged. And then that piece of content is going to be available for you to push out through whatever kind of social media platforms you may be on. At the end of the day, the longer form would likely go out to YouTube. Some things get embedded back into your blog as a new blog post. You take little micro pieces, they get pushed out on different social platforms, etc. Right? So we won't get into kind of the repurposing strategy today, but the bottom line is if you are wondering what in the world do I blog about or create videos about or create reels about, like whatever, these are kind of 3 fundamental tips to create a killer content marketing strategy that delivers tons of value, which is really the heart behind all of this. How do we take somebody over here that's struggling? And even just through watching your little micro pieces of content, we're gradually able to move them right over to here. Some people are going to be ready to buy at the beginning, which is great. Most people are not going to be ready to buy at the beginning. They have to consume a lot of your content to be warmed up, to build trust in you when they don't really know you that well. Maybe they just know you through social media and online. So most people will buy later, but at the end of the day, you're delivering tons of value that are helping these people, which is what's most important. And eventually that's going to pay off in the form of new followers, new opt-ins, new clients, etc. And then once those clients do business with you and you deliver killer results, that's going to result in new referrals from those clients that help you serve more people, grow the business, and the cycle continues. So hope this was helpful, guys. Continue to push out great content grounded in what is valuable to your end user at the end of the day, and how does that map back into your proven process. And what's really cool, this last little thing I want to say is those little buckets, right? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oftentimes those map directly to your content categories, which keeps your overall structure. Could be blog categories, could be, whatever it is, depending on where you're pushing stuff out and how you're pushing it out. So just at the end of the day, know that we're giving away everything for free, but in small bite-sized pieces in all random order.